Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. My name is Vineet. In an unfortunate incident, a festive gathering turned into a heartbreaking tragedy at Goa's Shri Lairai Devi Temple in Shirgaon village when a stampede broke out during the temple's annual Jatra. At least 7 people have died and more than 50 have been injured, with the tally expected to even rise further. The stampede took place in the early hours of the morning as thousands of devotees had assembled at the temple for the popular annual celebrations. Nearly 30,000 to 40,000 devotees had gathered for the festival, with many standing on a slope near the temple. The Goa Chief Minister, Pramod the Sawant, announced that an inquiry would be conducted into the temple stampede. He will also shortly be chairing a high-level meeting to review the entire situation and ensure appropriate action is taken. Meanwhile, eyewitnesses say that the crowd began to lose control at one point during the early morning rush. A sudden push near a sloped section of the route caused people to surge forward all at once, creating panic and triggering a stampede. Officials say the stampede was triggered by a fall on a narrow slope, worsened by the sheer size of the crowd, and initial reports suggest that the combination of a massive turnout and insufficient crowd control measures led to the deadly rush. Chief Minister Pramod Sawant later stated that a sudden electric shock may have triggered the panic amongst the crowd. However, the exact cause is still being investigated, but despite the scale of the event, the festival was not short on security. Over 1,000 police personnel were deployed for crowd management and overall safety. Yet, even with such a large security presence, the situation slipped out of control, raising questions over crowd control and management. We'll talk about this with our guest. Joining us on the show is Mr. M.K. Meena, former DGP, Goa. Rahul Ishwar, political analyst and activist, also joins us on the show. Mr. Sanjay Sahai, former IPS, with us on the program. Last but not the least, Mr. Savio Rodriguez, BJP leader, is also joining us on the program. Savio, you being from Goa, would have a better understanding and proximity to what has transpired here. What's really surprising, Savio, is that there was ample security. There were ample measurements taken so as to nothing untoward happens, and yet it still did. Savio? Savio, if you can hear me. Alright, there seems to be a problem with Savio's connection. We'll in fact rope him in momentarily. In fact, let me get in Rahul Ishwar into this conversation. Rahul, you have seen many religious gatherings and a number of them have had this problem. Why do you think that the administrative efforts, despite so many of such incidences happening in our country over decades, has been not able to get this right?
First, let me offer my condolences to those people, especially those people who are no longer with us, and nearly 30 plus people were injured according to the available information. My pranams to them. May all their souls be blessed, and all those who are hurt be healed fast. Second, I have seen this personally in Kerala, Sabarimala too, where 106 people lost their life in Stampede, and I was one of the first person to reach there. Going there is something like heart-wrenching. It will never leave your soul, that sight of people who were having devotion, who were praying for their families in front of the God or the deity, and they have to face such a stampede. It's absolutely unfortunate, but please remember, such kind of tragedies are our collective responsibility. We need scientific crowd management. We need more tech-driven facilities. We need more technology integrated into our spirituality so that there can be safe queues. There can be something like QR codes for each people. There can be no stampedes. So it's time to integrate more and more proper scientific devotee management. I wouldn't even call it crowd management, scientific devotee or scientific gathering management. And these kind of things, we have to pour in investment, we have to pump in money. And especially temples, church and mosque, they also do have the responsibility. Let us remember, it is not only happening in India, it has happened in Holy Mecca, it has happened in so many other shrines across the world. But we need better crowd control, better devotee management, better people management, and we have to integrate more and more technology into this. And such kind of things will scar the souls of the devotees for a lifetime. All those who have lost their loved members, especially going to a pilgrimage or to a temple, church or a mosque, will definitely wound them very deep. So I hope more and more investment in the arena of scientific people management will be done. More technology will be incorporated. Government will take the honest responsibility, announce a very good amount. Any amount is insignificant compared to the loss of life, but some kind of support to the families will be announced. So such kind of proper protocols and procedures should be followed, along with integrating technology and science into our spirituality and devotee crowd control management.
Absolutely. Savio, if you can hear me now. Savio, if you're there with us.
I am. Can you hear
All right.
me?
Savio, you're a local of Goa. This is something that you've seen, happen every year without incident or report every year. What do you think went wrong this time? And Rahul has made a very important point that in this day and age of technology and AI, why is it so difficult to manage crowds at such a scale?
Vinny, thank you for having me on your show. And at the onset, let me say quite openly, uh, my deepest sympathies to the family who have lost their lives, and my prayers for the people who have been injured in this unfortunate incident. The Yatra happens every year, and it is something that has been always well organized. What happened last night is something that is currently being investigated. The real problem, because we had the police force out there, you had the drone cameras out there, everything was in place as far as people management system in looking after what is happening in terms of the crowd was there according to the government. Therefore, the chief minister has initiated an investigation into what led to the stampede. Now, the risk you face, no matter what technology you have, and I'm not against technology, I believe we should have stronger people management systems. But sometimes what happens is when there's a large section of crowd where the management of the people, which is a responsibility of the people as well as the establishment to ensure that everything works well, is put into a sort of a questionable situation where there is some sort of a fear psychosis. And that's what the Goa police has been talking about, that there is a probability of some sort of a rumor that could have led to some person reacting and thereby others reacting in that stampede. And that fear psychosis is something that needs to be investigated and what led to it. But having said that, what is important is that when large crowds of people are coming for festivals, are coming for ceremonies, whether religious or otherwise, there has to be a people management system. There has to be a manner in which crowd is controlled. And surprisingly, this yatra has been going on for years and you've never had an incident like this ever happening. This is the first time that's happening. And therefore, I think it is important for us to reflect on where we went wrong as far as our systems are concerned and put stronger systems in place. But if after the investigation we realized that there was probably a sabotage or a mischief or some sort of a rumor that led to it, such kind of situations cannot be controlled when a mob goes into a fear psychosis. And therefore, my appeal to people who are coming to the yatra and who go for these programs in large numbers ranging from thousands, at least at that stage, they should themselves realize that to maintain social distancing is important in these kind of things because your lives are actually in your hands. A rumor that has led to this particular thing, according to what the police is saying, has cost the lives of 6 people and almost 70 people are injured. It could have gone worse. Therefore, it is responsibility of the government for better people management systems. It's the responsibility of the people in these crowded festivals to maintain a certain amount of social distancing so that you don't become victims to the fear psychosis that may or may have not caused this particular stampede.
You're absolutely right. Mr. Sahai, why can't we get this right? This is obviously frustrating. Savio and Rahul are extremely right that this is a problem which is very indicative of the fact that there is mismanagement at a large scale. Do you think there should be a separate task force, a separate agency that looks after crowd management? Is it time that we in fact constitute our energies and resources and money into building something like this, because 6 lives matter?
It is time to understand that security and crowd management is a very specialized sort of a discipline and expertise which has been found missing in this country. You said that security was provided for, by which all of us understand that there are 1,000 police personnel there, there are some CCTV cameras and some drones. What more can the government do? Government has never applied its mind, nor has the police force, to understand what is crowd management. If I go through last 8-9 months, 10 major stampedes have happened in this country. And Rahul Ishwar has been talking about technology, and rightly so. But we have seen in Mahakumbh that the same AI-enabled cameras did not deliver anything, precisely for the reason because we don't understand technology and we are not in a position to use the technology in the best possible manner. Now here few things are completely missing, as has been the case in most of these stampedes. So when they take the approval of the whosoever is the concerned police authority out there, there is a bandobast scheme, and the bandobast scheme also has the methods of regulation. What is happening at couple of places, the documentation is fine, but there when you are running a crowd management show, even if you don't have a great expertise in crowd management, you should know how to regulate a crowd, whether your heart and mind is in that particular job or not. If your heart and mind is not in that particular job and you are standing there just as a body bag, then it's become next to impossible. And when the crisis happens, for whatever reason, when the crisis happens, then you find most of these police guys, inclusive of the temple authorities, they generally cave in. They give way to the crisis and the crisis snowballs. I think somebody was talking about a mob. It is not a mob. It is a very silent, peaceful crowd of devotees. But when it lands in a crisis situation, to save one's life, what should you do? So what is the way out? The way out is first and foremost that the police should gain expertise. It should be handled in the manner what we call as scientific management. Technologies can only help you as much as the practitioners know of that particular technology. In any one single grid, the camera is able to tell you whether it is overcrowded or not. But in any of these cases, now the inquiry will go on. I don't think anybody will get into the technology part of the inquiry and where the technology failed us and where the expertise failed us. It will say that crowd was there, 60 to 40 to 60,000, overcrowding. That is a normal, common thing, overcrowding. There is a standard crowd which comes to any of these jatras or whatever the festival was. 25% to 40% is the accepted extension of what the crowds can come. Was it planned for that? So the whole process end to end is, I see, it smacks of a very casual behavior, inclusive of what happens after the whole exercise. We have been talking of ex gratia, we're talking of hospitalization, people who are injured, providing the best treatment. All these things will happen.
And of course, and Mr. Sahai, of course,
incident will happen in the same manner.
Mr. Sahai, let's not forget.
Set of skill.
Can you not hear me?
Mindset
Mr. Sahai,
and technology merged into
Can you
one.
not hear me, PCR? Right, Mr. Sahai, what about the high-level inquiries that are also constituted? Isn't that become very parity in nature?
No, see, these high-level inquiries, the committee members, I would, in a very solemn way, I will say that they don't have the expertise of crowd management. And primarily, you give it to, most of the times, you give it to the SP and the district collector. They are a part of that whole mechanism. And how do you make people guilty who are a part of the same mechanism? I don't know if any of these people have an expertise of either crowd management or evacuation, crisis management, technology in crowd management, and variety of other things. And whether the blame is to be put based on couple of documents which has been provided, or you are getting into the practice part of it. Unfortunately, we have reached the level where the practice of crowd management is literally missing in this country.
Mr. Meena, your thoughts on this sensitive issue? Something similar continues to happen. Well, it happened in the Kumbh as well, towards the end of the Kumbh Mela, which concluded recently. For the most part of that event, there were no problems. But eventually, the lack of preparedness caught up.
It was New Delhi railway station as well.
Yeah, Mr. Meena?
Yeah, I have got big sympathy with those relatives or those who have died. And, and it is very bad incident, you can say. In fact, what earlier speaker has told, I fully agree with him. Police crowd management is a scientific management system. You have to plan in such a way that nothing should happen. In fact, this incident which we are talking, what exactly has happened, this will come out only after inquiry is conducted, and then things will come out by locals as well as media, and then things will come out after 2-3 days what exactly has happened. But in fact, I still consider there was lack of planning on the part of administration. There was something they have not thought of. In fact, in crowd management, always there is problem. The problem is that we don't plan in such a way that we have to calculate area. This is the area. How many devotees can come? Even if it can be long, huge line, nothing happens. But what we see, we don't control the crowd as per availability of space. That is the only thing. Second thing, we don't plan, administration don't plan their exit. Sometimes the exit is same, entry is same. Like in Yatra, and then there is tendency of devotees to come fast as early as possible towards the temple, towards the main point, towards the front. So it is pushing takes place. The pushing takes place from back side, pushing takes place from the front side. In which also there is some rumor that the devotees were pushed up. I don't know what exactly has happened. There are many theories which are coming up in this particular case. But this happens. In fact, what you can see recently, the incident, it again depends on officers, how senior officers. I can only say, if senior officers are very sensitive, they plan SP level and above, nothing will happen. I can say I was looking after more than 4 years this railway stations or railway police also in Delhi. I myself was there whenever there used to be big arrangement like Chhat Puja, etc. There used to be earlier incident, but not even a single incident happened during my time. Because we used to stand each railway station, I used to monitor myself as a IG level, as a additional DG level, as a special commissioner. So I can say whenever like I was New Delhi district DCP, the huge crowd is coming up everywhere. We have also managed so many things. I was in Goa. In fact, as DGP Goa, I have served there. I have seen these places which we are talking. We have also handled these yatras. So it is very easy if senior officers are engaged in this. We used to plan at our level. But if you leave at lower level, they don't have resources. It is a headquarter as well as SP. They can give you resources. In fact, regarding this also I talking, like there is lack of training amongst police. Regular training is to be conducted, regular exposure is to be conducted for police, for controlling crowd, for managing crowd. It's very scientific. We allow people more than capacity, and then very difficult to handle. Please, they should not allow this. They should have lot of layers. Up to this, only this much crowd can go. After this, there may be crowd. It can take long time. But we should not allow all crowd to merge. And in Goa, I can see this difficulty. I can comment. I was DGP Goa. As a DGP Goa, I recommended to the government to creation of 2 more police districts because SP level, it was very difficult. North Goa district is very heavy, tourist oriented, is a capital city. And this area which I was talking about, Mahapsa, I recommended, even in principle, it was agreed by Honorable CM also. But till now, it has not been created because SPs are so busy. So I projected these things to government. That such things can happen. But unfortunately, Honorable CM agreed to it. In South Goa also, there were planned to have 1 more police district, North Goa also. It was agreed in principle, it was decided, but it was never made because of some officers, they were not agreeing to it. But in fact, if you see, there will be root cause of this. These have
Fair
to
enough.
be planned
And
at SP level.
and yes,
These have to be planned at headquarter level.
you
Resources have to be
that's
provided.
exactly what I said,
Proper
sir.
training has to be
This is
provided.
something that needs to be planned at the headquarter level. And Rahul will
Yeah.
take concluding thoughts from everyone, starting with you. On an average, since 2006, 288 people in our country have died as a result of stampedes, and this is government data, which is easily available if you Google it. And 288 people is pretty close to the number of people that terrorists have also killed throughout the world. So obviously, why aren't we taking this seriously? Rahul?
Absolutely, what you said is very true, and especially comparing it with the statistics of other is also, a pointer towards people to imagine the gravity of the situation. I hope they will take it seriously. Condolences to all. See, it should not just remain 2 or 3 days debate, but beyond that, some structural reform should be coming. I agree with all the esteemed panelists. They were all very sharp and to the point in saying what needs to be done. But having seen many disasters, especially in Kerala, where 106 people lives lost, not much has improved. I'm sorry to say, not much has improved on ground. We need things improving on ground rather than only on our discussion. I hope our authorities and policy makers take it very seriously and bring structural reforms in this arena.
Savio, what should we do?
Well, for the starters, obviously we require better people management systems at the ground level. But Vineet, there's one thing that keeps bothering me, because this yatra is not something that's uncommon. It's something that has been going on for decades, and there are crowds and crowds of people that come for it, right? Something went wrong this time, and for me, being somebody who's a part of the system in Goa, I'm still a little, I've got a little couple of thoughts in my head that don't quite add up, and that's why I'm not saying anything right now, because I believe that the crowd, the devotee crowd in Goa for these kind of festivals are undoubtedly one of the most well behaved. We have had a lot of Christian festivals. We had the exposition of St. Francis Xavier, where millions of people came, not only from Goa but around the world. It was very well managed. The Goa police did extremely well. The Goa government did extremely well. Similarly, we've had other Zatras as well. So it is very important for us to first understand what led to the stampede, based on the fact that there are many stories going around right now. So for me, at this point of time, I am a little perplexed as to why did a crowd that is otherwise very, very docile allow for itself to become a part of a stampede, the devotee crowd, and that is still got a question mark in my head. So I'm not going to jump into any conclusion. Yes, we must have better people management system. We need better technologies. But, well, Israel had the best technology in the world, and we know what happened on October 7th, right? So technology is one aspect of it. People understanding what drove the people to a stampede is where my question remains and stays. Because I know the people, and I know these people don't react, and these people are well behaved. So some fear got into them to react in a particular way, and that led to a stampede, and that's what we need to investigate.
All right. Okay. Mr. Sahai, quick concluding thoughts from you and Mr. Meena. 10 seconds each. We've completely run out of
Crowd
time.
management has been normalized in this country, and whatever might be the cause of the stampede shouldn't have happened, because all the resources were available. And I would go forward to say that accountability needs to be fixed, and every single time when we talk of commissions and suggestions, all that is not going to work out. In this particular case, if heads roll, and heads should roll till the CEO, and who the CEO means in a state, you can well understand. Only if accountability happens,
Okay,
things
fair
will
enough.
change.
Mr. Meena?
Otherwise, things are not going to
Mr.
change.
Meena, 10 seconds, sir. Concluding thoughts, then we wrap up, please.
In my suggestion, that regular training should be conducted for the administration as well as police staff. And for Goa especially, I can again request administration to consider not 2 SPs districts. They can't manage whole state. There should be minimum 4 police districts, as it was earlier agreed. Then only Goa can be safe. Thank you.
Fair enough. On that note, we dip into a short break. Appreciate everybody who joined us. Thank you so much for stopping by. We take a short break now. We'll be back with more.